Canadians have to get over their chintziness about this. The budget of the government of Canada is in the hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars. The Prime Minister ought to have a decent place to live and to host and to conduct business if it's necessary and helpful in that context.
For the last 8 years, a piece of prime Ottawa real estate has sat vacant, occupied only by raccoons and vermin. 24 Sussex Drive, the official residence of the Prime Minister. Now the federal government is mulling over what to do about it. The historic building is estimated to cost tens of millions to repair, leading some to argue Canada should either move the PM permanently to Rideau Cottage or just build a whole new home.
I'm not sure the cottage fits what's needed. Look, bite the bullet, build the thing. I mean, we build government buildings day and night. So, this would be a public asset. It's not like it's going to be Trudeau's place. It'll belong to the government of Canada, which it does now.
Sources tell City News talks about the future of 24 Sussex are still in the early stages, and all options are on the table, including keeping and renovating it or building a new property entirely, here or elsewhere. Some locations that have been floated include Rockcliffe Park near the extremely posh New Edinburgh neighborhood and a nearby RCMP site where the musical ride trains. It's believed both those areas could provide sufficient security and privacy for a PM's residence. But the cost is still unclear and an obstacle. Prime Minister Brian Mulroney faced backlash for the price of renovations done during his term, scaring off later prime ministers.
Stephen Harper should have been much more proactive on it. He made a political decision that if he acted on improving it, and people were complaining about it then, that if he acted, the public would respond negatively.
Every prime minister, going back 4 or 5 of them, has decided there's no upside. They will just get backlash in the media and from the opposition, and it just wasn't worth the political price. And that's the corner that we backed ourselves into. To get out of it is going to take some courage by the government and also some maturity from the opposition.
Former Privy Council Clerk Michael Wernick agrees something should be done, but argues the PM's residence doesn't need to be a working space like the White House or 10 Downing Street. That's what the Prime Minister's office is for. Instead, he argues for something akin to a large family home, big enough for the PM and family, however big that is, and a few guests.
Very similar to the kind of thing that ambassadors to Canada live in Rockcliffe. But it needs to be safe because the Prime Minister is a target. We've seen attacks on the Hill, attacks on Rideau Hall, attacks on politicians. And I think it's the security and safety dimension that doesn't get enough attention.
In Ottawa, Shaoli Lee, City News.